Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this Monday, August 5th. And we're going to start with our first story, which is talking about moving casinos into the land of smiles in order to boost tourism. Thailand is moving forward with plans to legalize casinos to enhance tourism and attract foreign investment. Draft rules propose 30-year casino licenses extendable for another 10 years within large entertainment complexes. Public feedback is open until August 18th, with major companies like MGM Resorts and Las Vegas Sands showing interest. Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin supports this initiative for better oversight and tax revenue. Legal casinos could increase tourism revenue by 12 billion USD, and the proposal includes strict regulations and designated locations like Bangkok, Phuket, and Chiang Mai. So what do you think? This is one of those things. I'm seeing Thailand become one of these quietly very libertarian kind of societies, right? We're seeing all sorts of progressive policies come in. I'm a big fan of people of allowing people to indulge in whatever sort of vice that, as long as you're not harming other people, I think these kinds of things should be legal. So we've seen cannabis go that way. We've now seen gay marriage, obviously, is on the bill. It's coming up soon. Now casinos too. I'm not saying that gay marriage is a sin, whatever, but the point is, very progressive policies are coming in Thailand quietly all of a sudden. Now, in the name of boosting tourism, of course, it will boost tourism. Casinos also have the double-edged sword. Obviously, gambling addiction is a very serious issue. I've lived in Australia where, it's such a big part of the culture. I think Australians gamble more than every other society on earth. So there should be some strict regulations that come with this allowance. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you excited for casinos in Thailand? Well, whether or not you like it, they're coming. So buckle up and get ready to pull out one-armed bandit. Damien says, I need a beer. Oh, God, tell me about it. No, I don't. I need to get over my weekend and get into the work week. Thank you, Damien. And yeah, Mojo, good reminder. Please like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. All right, now we're going to go on to our next story, which is taking us up to Chiang Mai with a really strange tale, obviously, at the airport. Now, the ceiling at the Chiang Mai Airport has collapsed with several children injured. Now, a section of the ceiling at Chiang Mai International Airport's screening checkpoint collapsed on August 3rd, injuring 2 child passengers. A Dutch child sustained minor hand injuries, and a Chinese child suffered a head wound requiring stitches. Emergency responders provided immediate care, and both families received assistance for their onward journeys. The collapse was caused by moisture from air conditioning ducts, exacerbated by recent rainfall. Airport authorities have apologized and initiated urgent repairs and maintenance to prevent future incidents. Yeah, that's not good. The sky is falling. Usually wouldn't listen to the kids, but in this case, it really was. Glad to see that the kids are okay. That's going to be a traumatic event for the kid that needs stitches. But yeah, this isn't the first time we've heard of some infrastructure going wrong in Thailand. Last year at Don Mueang Airport, there was an incident where a woman fell into a moving walkway and had to have a leg removed because she got chewed up by the machinery so much. Very important for a country that relies on tourism so much to not have these stories happen, okay? Thailand is one of the most traveled countries in the world. Our international airports here have got to be held to a very high standard because this kind of stuff, children fortunately just injured. Nothing too tragic, but still, it's going to make people think twice before they start booking their flights. So hopefully they can get to the bottom of that and make sure that the rest of the airport is safe for traffic. All right, one second. Just kidding. All right, that's just water, I swear. All right, moving on to our next story. A funny one, this one. Now, an unlicensed beauty doctor was arrested in a Bangkok hotel raid. Police have arrested 39-year-old Jatia, who posed as a beauty doctor in Bangkok. She was caught administering fillers and Botox, making up to 40,000 baht per month through Facebook-arranged appointments. Jatia used hotel rooms in Sukhumvit as makeshift clinics. She confessed to having no medical license, only vocational education, and learned injection techniques from Chinese doctors' wives in Malaysia. Operating for over 5 years, she frequently changed locations to avoid detection. Jatia faces charges for practicing medicine without a license and selling modern medicines without authorization. What are you guys doing? Like, who is getting their Botox and fillers from Facebook Marketplace meetups, and then you're going to meet them in a hotel? You're lucky you left there without your organs removed, I would imagine. But I'm glad they got to the bottom of this. They were getting away with it for years. This kind of story just kind of shocked me a little bit. But what would you do? Would you trust the old hotel room clinician to inject needles into your face? I don't think I would. But it shows how desperate people are and how widespread the culture is for cosmetic surgeries and fillers, Botox, that kind of thing. I mean, a lot of people think of it as just, a simple in and out procedure, which, most times it is, with trained healthcare professionals, not, how are they... I'm picturing them sterilizing the needles with just like a lighter in the bathroom or something like that. That just is not okay. So I'm sure this is not the only person who's doing this and getting away with it. So hopefully the Thai police, guys, shouldn't need to be said, but don't get your fillers from Facebook Marketplace, okay? All right, now moving on to our next story. I'm sorry about the Schultz thing, by the way. John's Journeys. Schultz is from Hogan's Heroes. Haven't heard that reference in a while, but yeah. Shapiro. Thank you, guys. QZTube says, simple injection ends up waking up in a bathtub of ice, missing a kidney. Yeah, I know. These people are lucky that that's the word. I mean, must have had some good Facebook reviews if she was able to get away with it for 5 years. But yeah, I can imagine she'll be facing some harsh punishments for that. All right, now on to another harrowing tale, as a tourist has been injured in Chumphon Resort after a balcony collapse. So a balcony collapse in Chumphon Resort on July 27th seriously injured a 44-year-old named Piapul, causing a broken arm, fractured skull, cracked jaw, broken nose, and severe facial lacerations. Despite the resort owner's initial promise to cover hospital expenses, assistance was minimal. Yanisa, Piapul's wife, sought help from local and tourist police, but found the local police unresponsive and unhelpful. The resort was found to be operating without a license, and Yanisa moved her husband to a hospital in Phetchaburi for safety, expressing gratitude to the tourist police for their support. What is... guys... operating without a license. What's going on here? So, especially, it seems like there's a lag between people catching up to these licenses, right? These businesses and people that are doing things without the proper regulation before they get caught. And it has to have something tragic to happen before people are held accountable. So fortunately, this balcony collapse did not end in a death. We've seen this, I believe a couple of months ago. There was a really tragic one that came out of the Middle East. But, I have a balcony. I stand on it every night. I am very much taking that for granted, the fact that I have good building codes and regulations. I hope. I might have to do some investigating of my own about my own apartment complex, but still, these things are in place for a reason, right? Regulations are written in blood. So the fact that people are able to operate businesses without getting away with it until something tragic happens. So I hope the book is thrown at them, especially since it seems like they didn't actually offer the help that they had promised in the first place. So trying to shout it out and call some attention to it here. It's about getting him his kidney stolen. There you go, Damien. Yeah. Relating. That's a callback. In the comedy scene, we call that a callback. All right. Another weird story for you guys coming up next. Now, police have seized over 45,000 bottles of counterfeit cough syrup. Authorities raided a counterfeit cough syrup factory in Samut Sakhon, seizing nearly 50,000 bottles valued at more than 50 million baht. Producing up to 20,000 bottles daily, the factory distributed fake cough syrup popular among youths for intoxication. The raid, coordinated by police, FDA, and local health officials, uncovered the fake bottles of daticin syrup and related production materials. The operation had been evading detection by frequently relocating. Charges against the factory owner include drug manufacturing without a license and producing counterfeit drugs with severe penalties. The FDA continues to monitor high-risk cough syrup production to prevent misuse. What are the kids calling it these days? Lean it was scissor when I was a kid. Like I don't know, but cough syrup as an intoxicant is not new, but the fact that it's being made for the direct purpose of distribution and sale to kids for their intoxication is a little unnerving. So this is a new kind of drug operation that I haven't reported on yet. Glad that they've shut it down. That was interesting that they were able to keep this thing on the move for so long. A bit of a Breaking Bad in Thailand situation. But yeah, guys, whatever happened to good old-fashioned beer? Huh? Let's grab a drink after work, everybody. Lay off the cough syrup. Use it if you need it, but you shouldn't be abusing it. That's for sure. Sing in my car. Yeah, lean. There you go. Warning labels are in place because some idiotic, moronic things. Yes, of course. We all, some stupid people ruin things for all the rest of us. But yeah, I think, consumption of medicines, like they weren't selling this to be medicine. They were selling this to be a drug, which is one of those weird lines that is drawn too when we're talking about, substances in general. The war on drugs has been a big thing that's affected the entire world. And now, how much are people needing to self-medicate? How much are people going to the doctors and getting the wrong kind of medication for them? I don't know. We got to figure out our pharmaceuticals, everybody, because right now the world is still all messed up on this whole drug situation. I'm curious to see how this plays out with cannabis becoming legalized. Actually, oh, damn. I didn't even do that news today. We got to get there. I'll do it tomorrow. Apparently, Philippines is nearing closer to legalizing medical marijuana. So I'm curious to see how those places where they do decriminalize and legalize cannabis, how that affects the usage of other drugs and if that has any impact on the illicit drug trade over there. Sing in my car says, beer makes you lean as well on walls, toilets, and refrigerator. Ain't that the truth? Been there, Damien. Sing in my car. All right. Now, moving on to our next story. This is a fun, weird one. In Thailand, there's so many people that put so much faith and emphasis on the notion of psychics and fortune tellers. Well, we have a story of one going bad today. So a foreign fortune teller has harassed a Thai woman for money. That's right, a foreign fortune teller has been troubling Thai women around the Wat Chalom Pra Kiat in Nonthaburi, offering dubious services for money. Now, Kun Panjarat, a smoothie shop owner, shared her experience with a tall man resembling an Indian national who inaccurately predicted she had 2 lovers, mistaking her brother for one. Feeling threatened, Panjarat gave him 20 baht to leave. The man continued to harass others, with several people sharing similar experiences on social media. Panjarat, grateful her brother was present, believed the fortune teller was malicious in his intentions. Come on, guys. I don't know. This is... I feel weird about this because obviously, these kinds of traditions and superstitions, I call them superstitions, have a lot of weight and carry a lot of weight here in Thailand. I mean, it seems like every other week we do a story about a snake being somewhere it's not supposed to be, and now we have lottery numbers. But this is just one of those things where you see con artists, right, preying on vulnerable people. I don't know if they're vulnerable, or if they're rubes or whatever they are, they're taking advantage of people. But the fact is, okay, you made a prediction, a bad one, right? You said her brother was your lover. Okay, bad psychic, first of all. She gave you 20 baht to leave her alone, and then you start harassing her. It's like, bro, especially as a guest in this country, that's going to land you in trouble. So if you see any shady-looking door-to-door fortune tellers, maybe send them packing. Don't invite them in. What a weird one, that one. All right, now a feel-good story for us to end on the Thailand news before we head into the ASEAN world, which is going to be a little less sunshine and roses. But first things first. Hold on. Get some water for this. All right. So some pygmy killer whales were rescued in Phuket's mangrove forests. Marine officials rescued 5 pygmy killer whales stranded in Phuket's Ao Kung mangrove forest, while one sadly died. The incident, reported on August 3rd, saw swift action from Marine Guardians Network and coastal resources officials. 3 whales were healthy enough to swim independently, but 2 were weakened, and 1 that was trapped in the mangrove roots. The whales, likely disoriented while searching for food, received immediate medical attention and were transported to deeper waters near the Koh Yao Yai. This marks the 4th sighting of pygmy killer whales in Thailand, with continuous patrols ensuring their safety. I did not know there was such a thing as pygmy killer whales. I will admit that freely and openly right now, but very happy to see that the authorities were able to get there in time in order to save most of them. Tragically, 1 did lose its life, but that's one of the key parts of Thailand, is the fact that there's so much harmony with nature here. There's so much tourism and ecotourism, and to see, something like this, hey, the whales are in trouble. We come out, we help. We got them to safety. So kudos to the authorities down there managing to get those whales into the environment they're supposed to be in. Stay out of the mangroves, pygmies. What does that mean, pygmy? Are they just small killer whales? Should I be afraid, or are they cute? I don't know. You let me know in the comments. All right. Good morning, Franco. Thank you for joining us. Now, guys, that'll do it for our Thailand news. We're going to head over to the ASEAN region now, where I have some more troubling stories. Now, first things first, we're going to head over to Singapore. Now, Singapore has hanged a man who was accused of trafficking 36 grams of heroin. Singapore executed a man for trafficking 36 grams of heroin, underscoring its strict drug laws. The execution follows the city-state's zero-tolerance drug policy towards offenses that involve heroin trafficking. This includes the death penalty for trafficking small amounts of drugs. This policy has drawn criticism from human rights groups, but remains a cornerstone of Singapore's legal framework aimed at deterring drug crimes. Yeah, those international agencies will say that the death penalty does not, in fact, deter drug crimes at all, and I have to say I am inclined to agree. People act in desperation all the time when the carrot of money is dangled in front of them, and that's the tragedy of this story. Obviously, don't smuggle drugs, okay? That's 101. But even in Indonesia, the Philippines, in many different countries, the death penalty is still being carried out. Asia is not, they are not very progressive when it comes to this. Pretty much, I think every Asian nation still uses the death penalty in some form or another. But when you think about this, 36 grams of heroin, you usually hear about kilos being moved, right? Kilograms and stuff like that. That is a very, small amount to lose your life over. So it's certainly not worth the risk. But I am curious to know what you guys think about the application of capital punishment for drug crimes in Singapore and then, of course, around the greater ASEAN region. Let me know. Damien says, yeah, if that's the rules there, that's the rules. Ain't that the truth? It's not like you aren't warned. People do know, that's for sure. And obviously drug trafficking, especially with things like heroin and the fact that fentanyl is getting laced into all sorts of, drugs that are being pushed onto consumers or illicit drug consumers. Deaths are happening, right? Overdoses happen all the time. So I'm not saying that these drug traffickers aren't responsible for bad things too, but my God, capital punishment is a big deal, man. And by hanging too, that feels a little outdated. But we are guests in these countries, and we have to follow the rules. That's just the truth. Vanilla Man says, yeah, but Singapore is the cleanest and most awesome big city that I have ever been to, so they are doing an amazing job. So, yeah, there's certainly no shortage of people who do love Singapore. There's tons of, it's a very developed city-state. I'll be going there in September, and I will be not smuggling anything in, okay? You heard it here first. Elliot says, that's one of the potential reasons that Singapore is the safest city in the world for tourists. Sure thing. Yeah, I'm a little curious to see how that will happen, but this kind of news doesn't really affect things overall because most people aren't drug smugglers, but it's one of those things that brings international attention and ethics concerns. I'm not a big supporter of capital punishment in most cases, anyways. But particularly for non-murder charges, I think that's such a weird thing to do. But yeah, I don't know. My humble opinions, please let me know yours in the comments. Now, anyways, on to our last story, which is we got some internet controversy. Internet controversy over in Indonesia. Indonesia has banned DuckDuckGo over pornography and gambling concerns. Now, Indonesia has banned the privacy-focused search engine DuckDuckGo, citing its potential use to access illegal content like pornography and online gambling. This move aligns with Indonesia's strict online content regulations, especially given its large Muslim population. The ban follows numerous complaints about inappropriate content appearing in DuckDuckGo's search results. The Communications Ministry's crackdown on online gambling has already led to the banning of several websites. Despite the ban, DuckDuckGo has not yet responded to the allegations. This action is part of Indonesia's broader effort to control online content and maintain social norms. What do you know? I don't know. I haven't used DuckDuckGo. I never use it. But Google has been making me mad lately, I gotta say. Every time I go to Google, I feel like I'm just getting sponsored advertisements all the time. It's like the first 20 results are like, hey, is this your result? One of the people that paid me for it? No? Okay. Well, screw you. So I don't really know what to do with this story. Obviously, here in Thailand, they were talking about legalizing pornography and stuff like that. But in Indonesia, it's still very much illicit content that is strictly controlled. So, yeah. No, bye-bye DuckDuckGo. At the same time, though, I don't know. I'm curious about your guys' search engine usage. Does anybody else use anything besides Google? I've been using ChatGPT as a replacement for a lot of my Google searches personally, but I'm curious to see how many people really value their privacy and the privacy benefits that DuckDuckGo offers. Me, obviously, I'm living my life in a very public way, so I'm a little less concerned, but I'm curious your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. All right, guys, well, that'll do it for our news today. You can always go to the Thaiger.com for more news stories throughout the day. We always keep it updated constantly with new articles all day, every day. Also, I encourage you to head over to ASEAN Now as well to join Thailand's largest expat internet forum. You can join the conversation over there. For now, I'm going to get into the comments and hang out with you guys a little bit on this beautiful Monday.